Shoebag. Shoebag by Mary James. Chapter 1. Like all cockroaches, Shoebag was named after his place of birth. He was snoozing there now in the open toe of a white summer sandal. He was having his old dream of growing big enough to squash the seven-legged black jumping spider and of moving somewhere warm and dark and filled with meats, cheeses, sweets, and starches. All of Shoebag's family dreamed about living in a safer neighborhood, even though this building in Boston was a home sweet home. Already, they had lost two aunts and a cousin, and to the jumping spider, and one grandfather plus several uncles to water bugs and beetles, wasps, centipedes, and the dread fumes of Zap. Their apartment was fumigated the first Monday of every month. When they had to scamper through underground passages to the building next door, there they waited until the dread fumes were gone. Then they went back. Boston, Massachusetts, was known for its cold, cold winters, but even if the family was lucky enough one day to get a ride in a box going somewhere else, there was no assurance that they could be settled in a warmer climate. Neighbors they knew had escaped in a packing crate or some time ago, only to find themselves in a Bangor, Maine, where it was even colder. "Wake up, Shoebag!" his mother shouted. "The jumping spider in the kitchen has let down his drag line. He'll be here soon." All of their enemies, the black jumping spider was the fiercest, and almost as violent as his fat and hairy brown brother from next door. Quick and tricky, he had no web. He let himself down from high levels on the drag line of the silk he had spun in his spinnerets. "Death to all insects," he called out. For like all spiders, he was not an insect, but an arachnid. He had no jaws. He had many eyes. He would have 8 legs, and as all arachnids do. Except that a Persian cat from the 3rd floor had pulled one off. "Shoebag!" his mother's voice again, this time from the top of Reebok's next to the sandal. "Hurry up! Get your circe moving!" A circe is what cockroaches call all their trails. Shoebag was anxious to get his circe moving. His mother's antenna made a light pull off air, and a circe is a remarkably sensitive structure, and even a light puff of air directed at circe sends a cockroach scurrying, but Shoebag did not move. The trouble was, Shoebag couldn't get his circe to go. The reason was Shoebag's circe was missing. So were his 2 back legs. So were his 2 middle legs. So were his 2 front legs. And so were his antennae. Something terrible had happened to Shoebag. Shoebag's mother was named Drainboard. His father's name was Under the Toaster. And when Drainboard took a good look at Shoebag, her wings fluttered down. Her shell quivered, and she called out, "Under the Toaster! Come here, immediately! Something has happened to Shoebag." "Something terrible happened to me," Shoebag said. "I am changed." "You certainly are changed," said Drainboard. Under the Toaster hopped out of a black loafer and stared with horror at his son. "You really are changed. Ugh, are you?" "I have tiny hands," Shoebag said. "I have tiny feet. I have tiny nose and tiny ears. I have tiny head with hair," Under the Toaster exclaimed. "You have eyebrows and eyelashes," Drainboard groaned. "You have a neck and a chest and a stomach Under the Toaster complained. I have become a tiny person, said Shoebag. You have become quite repulsive. Under the Toaster told the truth, and the truth made Shoebag's father shiver with disgust. I cannot stand myself, yuck, said Shoebag, looking at his new body. Now you will get dirty the way people do. His mother was backing away from him. This is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. Shoebag was waving his new tiny hands, staring in awe at his tiny fingers, then stamping his new tiny feet. It was right at that moment that the black seven-legged jumping spider swung down on this drag line from a wooden coat hanger above him. Whoops, he said. Then he saw Shoebag, for he had not counted on meeting up with a person by mistake. My mistake! He tried getting back up to the closet shelf. Shoebag picked up the spider and tossed him through the crack of the closet door. Go after him and pull off his other legs, Drainboard said. I am not that much of a person, Shoebag protested. I can't pull legs off. Then step on him, Under the Toaster yelled. I have no shoes on, Shoebag said. I cannot step on something that would squish my bare feet. Shoebag could not believe that he had actually touched an arachnid and the black jumping spider as that. You cannot run around naked either. How that you are a tiny person, said Drainboard. Philosophy. I need tiny clothes, Shoebag said. You'll need light, Under the Toaster said. I need money, Shoebag said. I need toys. I'll need candy. I'm a tiny person. You need 3 meals a day, Drainboard said. Our picnics won't be enough for you. You won't be satisfied with other people's crumbs, and said Under the Toaster. You'll need soap and a washcloth, said Drainboard. You'll need a bed and sheets and blankets and a pillow. I'll need a television, said Shoebag. I'm a tiny person. We can't give you any of those things, said Drainboard. We'll probably have to disown you now, said Under the Toaster. You are my family, though, said Shoebag. You're the only family I have. You'll have to go someplace and forget all about us, said Under the Toaster. Go where? Where will I go? Someplace you can't step on us, said Drainboard. You're a person now, and you want to step on us. I will never be that big a person, Shoebag said. I'll never want to step on my own mother and father. You're too big already, Drainboard said. If you wanted to get back inside your shoe bag, you couldn't do it anymore. You can't crawl through the cracks or hide behind doorknobs or skitter up lamp cords or anything. This was true. Shoebag had grown larger than he'd ever dreamed he could be, even though he was just a little boy. I'm getting scared of you, said Under the Toaster. You may be my own son, but you no longer resemble me. I'm getting scared of myself, said Shoebag. This is no time to abandon me. Now more than ever I need you. Before you grow up another inch, Drainboard said, promise you'll never step on your own mother. He can't keep promises, said Under the Toaster. He's a person. I'm only a little person, so I can keep my little promises, said Shoebag. A promise not to step on us. Not such a little promise, said Drainboard. It's a big promise. I can handle it, Shoebag told her. You don't know that, said Under the Toaster. You don't know the things people are capable of doing. I know that now I'm one of them, and now that I will never step on my own parents. People do things and say the things that they were accidents. That they did were accidents, said Under the Toaster. I will be very, very careful, Shoebag vowed. Do you think I want to be an orphan? Whisper, said Under the Toaster. Your voice hurts my ears. Shoebag whispered. I will never harm you, and I will be very, very careful. Then Shoebag had the first happy thought since he had become this little person. He began to whisper harder. "When I get shoes, I will crush the 7-legged black jumping spider," he said, "and his flat, hairy brown brother from next door. And when I get clothes with pockets, I will collect little picnics and bring them to you." "The air from your whisper hurts my antennae," said Drainboard, "and it's too hot under the toaster," said Under the Toaster. "You're talking hot air." Shoebag covered his mouth with his new hand. "Is that better?" "A little, but don't move your foot until I get up on the wall. You almost broke your promise to us." "I can't see in there, that's why," said Shoebag. Let me reach up and turn on the light." "No, not that bright light," said Drainboard. "Please." "But how can I see you?" "Well, then you need... We'll tell you when we're safely out of sight," said Under the Toaster. Shoebag waited in the dark. He had always liked the dark, and he'd always run to dark places, but now he found that he was afraid of the dark. Anything can happen in the dark to a person. He had seen it with his own eyes. He had seen people stumble and fall in the dark. He had seen people get mugged in the dark. He had always known that the first thing the person did when they entered a dark place was to turn on a light. "I don't think this is right," he told himself, "that I should be standing here without any clothes on in a dark closet. I'm just a little boy." "Did you hear what I said?" Shoebag called out. There was no answer. Perhaps he had not said it aloud, for he was not yet used to being a person with his little voice. "Where are you?" he called out. "Can you hear me?" "I'm in the pocket of the..." And the rest of what Drainboard said was muffled. "Where?" Shoebag said. "Shh," from far away under wool, behind zippers, or inside coat linings. "Our ears! Hush!" "Where are you?" Shoebag began to panic. What pocket?" He stood in the dark listening. When there was no answer, he felt so alone and desperate that he began to holler louder. "I'll go through all of these pockets." "Oh, no, you don't," a new voice, very much like his own, said. "Thief! Thief! Closet thief! Call the police!"